and City University Television present Italics, the Italian-American magazine. Your hosts, Joseph Scelsa and Emilisa Aleandri.
Hello and welcome to our season premiere of Italics. We're here in Central Park in a gondola. More on that later. We're glad to have you back. I'm Joseph Scelsa.
And I'm Emilisa Aleandri, and we'd like to say a special hello to our newest viewers at Adelphia Cable Television in Burlington, Vermont.
And Cablevision in West Palm Beach, Florida.
And OBC TV in Lodi, New Jersey. Welcome. Now, Joe, let's tell the viewers about this month's show.
Okay, Emilisa. First, we go to Washington to attend the National Italian-American Foundation's 3rd Annual Washington Summit of Italian-American Organizational Executives.
Then we'll help kick off the governor's celebration for Italian Heritage and Culture Month.
We'll also attend the 4th Annual Italian Experience Festival at Hofstra University on Long Island.
Now let's go to Washington and attend the NIAF-hosted Executive Summit. This year's conference concentrated on Italian-American youth, their special concerns, and ways to enhance youth programs.
Italics is here at the Washington Hilton in our nation's capital for the 3rd Annual Summit and Youth Conference of the National Italian-American Foundation. The focus of this year's conference is on reaching our youth and getting them involved. Now let's take a look at some of the workshops and activities of this year's conference. The 3rd Annual Summit began with board members of NIAF stressing the need to integrate our youth into Italian-American organizations.
Let's look at the Italian-American organizations as if they were the last outpost before heading into the wilderness. That's a phrase that I like. And I repeat it every now and then. What we will see is a place where Italian-Americans can find facts which establish a way of life for our culture and providing a resource that made this country great. Enjoy our ethnic qualities without giving up one iota of Americanism. And acknowledge ethnic diversity as the glue that holds our country together in a mosaic rather than a melting pot theory. One can see then that Italian-American organizations have served us for many valuable purposes, namely opportunity to stay abreast in a competitive environment, a way to become involved in community affairs by preserving our heritage, a conduit for establishing a base for future leaders, and lastly, assistance to young people in order to live the values which we cherish: family, education, and hard work.
I think that your involvement and your emphasis on youth involvement, I think, is very key for the Italian-American movement, and I think for our country in general. I think that the intergenerational relationships are becoming more important in virtually every topic we run into in the course of policy today.
What I'd like each of you to do, since you are all executives of Italian-American organizations, is to put in your budgets next year $1,000, and you will pick from your area. For that money, depending upon where the next summit is, you will pick either 3 to 5 young people and send them to that retreat, and we will have hundreds of young people. Now the second retreat is today. It's in concert with your meeting, and it starts at 4 o'clock, and it's all day Saturday and Sunday, and for the cost of $125, we were able to provide 2 nights, 7 meals, a tour of Washington, and of course a reception at the ambassador's house. And so the cost will be in that range, plus the cost of getting wherever it is. But if we do that, and it's your job to do this, this is something that you can do, we will create the leaders that will take our place in the very near future.
In my opinion, Italian-American organizations on a national level in states and communities are not grabbing the attention of young people. And they're not grabbing the attention of young people because they're not dealing with issues that young people are concerned about.
The former First Lady of the state of New York, Matilda Raffa Cuomo, delivered the keynote speech to the conferees. Mrs. Cuomo was a leader in establishing education and mentoring programs for youth.
You know, as NIAF really starts observing its 20th anniversary, I am very thrilled to hear of its commitment to our youth and reinforcing it through very tangible efforts, not just talk, but they're doing something that is really remarkable. Internships, scholarships, the establishment of the Young Leadership Institute, youth retreats, special lectures, study opportunities in Italy. I sound like I'm a salesman here for NIAF, but I mean it. Encouraging and promoting the study of the Italian language in our schools, and much, much more. For the future of our young Italian Americans nationwide, each of you, as executives of Italian American organizations, has the leadership and influence to strengthen our great values, heritage, and culture. In working together, we need nothing less than an all-out, total, pervasive commitment from every part of the community, and especially reaching the parents of our Italian-American young people.
As the summit proceeded at the Hilton, around the corner at the NIAF headquarters, the 1995 Youth Retreat began. Retreat participants introduced each other to the group.
Where my grandfather's from, Abruzzi and Agulu. She has hazel eyes, hazel hair, and let's see, interesting. Yeah, you spent your last semester getting in touch with her roots. She saw where her grandmother was born in Italy.
I'm here at NIAF to have a great time and meet some different people, some Italians, and learn a lot.
Are you affiliated with any organizations?
Yes, at the moment, we're starting the Amici Society in New Orleans, Louisiana, with the help of Mr. Joe Maselli, and we hope to get a lot of the Italians in the community involved.
Well, you'll be learning a lot about that this weekend, right? There's going to be workshops on how to start projects for the Italian community.
Exactly. I'm hoping to get a lot of ideas from that. Also, a lot of impetus from different people affiliated with NIAF so that we can start the organization on a good foot.
And why did you come to the NIAF Youth Conference this weekend?
Basically just because I wanted to meet a lot of other Italian Americans, like a lot that were my age, and also, you know, I wanted to hear the lectures and just learn more about my culture and what it means to be Italian American.
What I'm seeing here is a lot of potential for people that are still in school to network and to meet Italian Americans in the U.S. in lots of different fields, and also to start up different types of groups in their schools.
Later in the day, all the conferees met at the Italian Embassy for a casual reception with Embassy and NIAF dignitaries. This was the first intergenerational meeting between NIAF members and retreat participants. After the Embassy reception, the Youth Retreat members boarded a bus to view the monumental sights of Washington, D.C. Day one ended with a picture-perfect memory for youth members at the White House.
Nobody move.
Saturday morning brought the retreat to the summit. During the morning session, members of the Youth Retreat exchanged ideas with executive leaders of national Italian American organizations.
So I think the purpose of this panel was primarily for you to hear both the Italian American students and also the Italian American organizations. What do Italian American young people want? All right, how can we help them also by listening?
Like Fieri is a great young Italian American organization. It's a place for me to go when I graduate college, when Chow isn't there for me anymore. Yeah, I'll still be there to help them out as an alumni to keep them growing, but I can't be actively participating in making their events successful. So where can I go now to put my talents And the young people have a lot of talents that you can, grab from them to do things, and they can help you. Just, you need to get their interests to know what they need, what they want.
Gentlemen, I understand both of you had a large part in the successful organization of the Italian Society at Yale. Could you tell me what hardships maybe Italian societies face that other groups don't?
Well, I think one of the biggest hardships is really reaching out to the Italian American youth and people who love the Italian culture and getting them to come out and come to the activities and to the events that we have. And I mean, I think we've had a lot of success, but I mean, that's when you start a new club, it's always difficult to have people come out for the first time, and once you get them to come out for the first time, then they'll come back. But that's a problem a lot of Italian American organizations also have, is getting them out that first time. And we have had success in trying to mix a nice mix of social activities and cultural activities.
If those town-based organizations and social clubs die, then the link and the venue to promote the Italian culture in a specific geographic area in the U.S. also dies. So unification, because strength is in numbers, and the more people you can appeal to and the more variety of events you can produce and offer, the more people will come, and survival is the key.
So I've learned so much just coming here now. My main objective is to tie the student organization in with NIAF and other maybe localized groups.
Has anything that people have offered you here, advice or maybe tips, has it helped you?
I can't even begin to list all I've learned. I mean, just making friends, speaking about some of the problems that Ignatius, who brought me in from Yale, some of the problems they've had. I mean, I think it's invaluable. It's going to be invaluable. I think it's going to make it much stronger. What I learned here would have taken years probably, and mistakes back at school. So,
well, good luck to you.
Thank you very much.
Now let's celebrate the 19th anniversary of Italian Heritage and Culture Month at the opening ceremony of New York State Governor George Pataki here in the Loeb Boathouse in Central Park. Now let's join in the festivities.
An authentic Venetian gondolier rowing guests on a gondola in Central Park is one of the charming Italian touches at New York State Governor George Pataki's opening ceremony for the 19th annual Italian Heritage and Culture Month celebration. Former Ambassador Charles Gargano introduces the governor.
Governor Pataki, who shares our Italian roots, also shares our values and our divinely inspired mission to make the world a lovelier, livelier, and more hospitable place. Next week, he will travel to his mother's family's hometown in Reggio Calabria. When he does, he will touch the roots of not only his heritage, but of every one of us who sprang so happily from God's most favorite nation, Italy. Ladies and gentlemen, please join me in a warm welcome for Governor Giorgio Pataki.
I think it's appropriate this evening and throughout this month that we think back and honor all those great Americans who have come from Italy, who have made contributions to our society in the arts, in government, in the private sector. And Ambassador Gargano talked about how it was the Romans who first defied gravity with building. Think about how many times Italian Americans have built and rebuilt this great city and this great state. So to all of you involved in making this a success, I want to thank you for being here. And at this point, I'd like to present the proclamation that I have signed as governor, proclaiming this month, October 1995, as Italian Heritage and Culture Month. And Dr. Giamanda, if you would come forward, this is his 19th year heading this program. It started out as Italian Heritage and Culture Week. It's grown. Next year will be the 20th anniversary, and maybe, Doctor, we should have an entire year of celebration of Italian heritage next year. Thank you so much.
We have a wonderful governor. Ambassador Gargano was fabulous, and you know, there are so many Italian Americans here this evening that have a great heritage and link with this great state and have done so much to make it the best state in the country.
I urge, and I would like to have every Italian to go back at least once in order to check, to touch base with a new country, a different country from the one left by their ancestors, a completely new, stable democracy, a very affluent country. I think it could be useful for everyone to become acquainted by themselves of the new reality of these fifth countries in the world.
Ma la cerimonia di questa sera è qualcosa di straordinario, dove possiamo addirittura dire che il governatore Pataki durante la campagna elettorale ha riconosciuto, o dovremmo dire ha riscoperto, le radici italiane, è diventato un grande idolo americano.
I am so proud to be able to be working in the governor's office representing the Italian American community.
Can you tell us what your expectations are for your trip to Italy?
I'm so excited about going back to Italy. I've been to Italy before, but never to Reggio Calabria, where my grandfather Matteo Lagana came from. And we've been doing some research and found the house in Peloro in Calabria where he grew up. And hopefully I still have some cousins and aunts and uncles there. So my mother's coming with me. She's never been back to Italy, and it should be just a very emotional and exciting trip for us.
May I take this opportunity to announce that next year we will be celebrating our 20th anniversary, and the governor did a better job than I did. The theme will be Unity Through Diversity, the 20 regions of Italy. We expect it to be a gala event with the participation of all the regions of Italy.
Now, Italy returns to Hempstead, Long Island. Hofstra University hosts a festival of arts, crafts, music, entertainment, and wine tasting, all part of their 4th annual Italian experience. Let's join them in the fun now. We'll hear from our Italics intern, Umberto Mignardi, who reports from the scene.
Hi, this is Umberto Mignardi, coming to you from Hofstra University in Hempstead, Long Island. We're here for the 4th annual Italian American Experience. We'll talk to some of the people who make this event happen, and we'll find out why it's so important to our Italian American community here on the island. So come along with me, and we'll take in the sights, the sounds, and the culture of Bell'Italia.
I think knowing the fact that we have over 40% of our students here at Hofstra University and 695,000 Italian Americans on Long Island itself, which is probably the largest amount or largest population of Italian Americans in the United States in one area, we are trying here to bring the culture and the education and keeping the Italian culture alive by holding this event each year. We know that many of the schools today do not offer the Italian language, and we are trying to promote Italy in its best. not just zeppelis and pizza, but the culture of Italy. It is so very important to keep that well and alive. And the audience that we have here, it's a learning experience.
Enzo Che is an Italian photographer from Tuscany who focused his lens on the stone cutters of Italy. In his work entitled Cavatori, he captures the lives of the men whose work is as hard as the stone they mine.
Io compro molti libri, seguo la fotografia ormai da 20 anni, da quando la pratico. Vedo molte buone fotografie che vengono dall'America, in Europa e quindi in Italia. Ma devo dire in Europa sì, ma in Italia ne arriva poche. Cerco io con questo argomento, che è l'argomento dei cavatori, con queste fotografie di fare il percorso inverso. Vedremo.
What's happened today is not necessarily just a food fair. It's more educational, cultural. We've had music, we've had operatic singing.
I've been here since it opened this morning at 9 o'clock. I've been treated to folk dances, opera, to a mandolin, to a symphony orchestra that played Italian music. You talk about Italian Americans getting a bad break in the media. You talk about having to fight the defamation directly against them. There are many ways of doing that. But one of the best ways is to have this sort of positive experience where both Italians and non-Italians meet together under one sky and see some of those beautiful things that we know are Italian, but that people don't really know or feel in their heart unless they experience it.
To find out about events in your area. We're here in Washington, D.C. at the National Law Enforcement Officers Memorial to pay tribute to Detective Sergeant John Ranieri of the New York City Police Department. He was president of the National Council of Columbia Associations in Civil Service and past president of the New York City Police Department's Columbia Associations. John was always there for any one of us who needed him. He was a constant supporter of the Italian-American community and will be missed by us all. For Italics, I'm Joseph Shelsa. Well, that's the end of our show. We're pleased to bring you another season of Italics. Join us again next time. I'm Joseph Shelsa.
And be sure to tune in for the Italian American Institute's special documentary project on Italian American theater, airing on CUNY TV throughout the month of October. I'm Emily Saliandri. Ciao for now.